Sampling techniques are essential in clinical research for collecting data efficiently and effectively from a population. They allow researchers to draw conclusions without needing to survey every individual, saving time and resources. By selecting a representative subset, researchers can infer characteristics of the entire population. Understanding various sampling methods helps ensure the reliability and validity of research findings. This presentation explores different sampling techniques, their advantages and disadvantages, and when to use each method to achieve optimal results in various research contexts. Probability sampling techniques ensure that every member of the population has a known and non-zero chance of being selected. This approach enhances the representativeness of the sample and allows for statistical inferences. Common methods include simple random sampling, stratified sampling, cluster sampling, and systematic sampling. In simple random sampling, each individual is chosen randomly, while stratified sampling divides the population into subgroups and samples from each. Cluster sampling involves selecting entire groups, and systematic sampling selects every nth individual. Each method has unique advantages based on research goals. Simple random sampling is a foundational probability sampling technique where every member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. This method minimizes selection bias and is straightforward to implement, often using random number generators or lottery methods. While it promotes fairness, simple random sampling may require a complete list of the population, which can be challenging to obtain. Moreover, this technique might not effectively represent diverse subgroups within a population, particularly in heterogeneous populations where stratified sampling may be more appropriate to ensure representation. Stratified sampling involves dividing the population into distinct subgroups or strata based on specific characteristics such as age, gender, or income. Researchers then randomly sample from each stratum to ensure that various segments of the population are represented. This technique enhances the accuracy of estimates and allows for comparisons across different strata. Stratified sampling is particularly useful when researchers anticipate significant differences among subgroups, enabling more detailed analysis. However, it requires comprehensive knowledge of the population to create appropriate strata, which can complicate the sampling process. Cluster sampling is a method used when populations are too large or dispersed to create a comprehensive list of individuals. In this technique, the population is divided into clusters, usually based on geographical areas or naturally occurring groups. A random selection of clusters is made and all individuals within the chosen clusters are surveyed. This method saves time and resources but may introduce higher variability if clusters are not homogeneous. While cluster sampling is cost-effective, researchers must ensure that the selected clusters are representative of the larger population to maintain validity. Systematic sampling is a probability sampling method where researchers select individuals using a fixed interval, often referred to as the sampling interval. After determining the sample size and obtaining a complete list of the population, researchers randomly select a starting point and then choose every nth individual from that point. This technique is easy to implement and ensures a spread of samples across the population. However, systematic sampling can introduce bias if there are patterns in the population that coincide with the sampling interval, potentially leading to underrepresentation of certain groups. Non-probability sampling techniques do not give every individual a known or equal chance of being selected. These methods include convenience sampling, purposive sampling, quota sampling, and snowball sampling. While non-probability sampling can be more convenient and less expensive, it often leads to selection bias and limits the ability to generalize findings to the larger population. Convenience sampling selects individuals based on availability, while purposive sampling targets specific characteristics. Quota sampling ensures certain characteristics are represented, and snowball sampling relies on referrals from initial participants, making it useful in hard to reach populations.